used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up
Coming out to another video, and the NFL draft is finally in the books. The Philadelphia Eagles did a great job, I thought. I want to just talk about, and I know I talked about Miles Sanders and as well as J.J. Arcega-Whiteside last night, but let's just go through it one more time. First round, take Andre Dillard. You get a guy in to protect Carson Wentz. You get a guy who's got quick feet, can really pass block, the best pass blocking lineman you could have possibly gotten your hands on. So that is going to be huge. I think this gives the Eagles a little bit of options with their offensive linemen now, because what you can do now is you can move Jason Peters inside to the guard spot, and that will be easier on his body, and you can allow Dillard to play left tackle and protect Carson Wentz's blind side, which I think he would do a phenomenal job at even as a rookie. So next round, Miles Sanders. We did pick up Jordan Howard, but there are questions about Jordan Howard, and really the only question is, if he has a really good season this year, what are we going to do? Are we going to be able to afford him? While you have Miles Sanders, who brings a lot to the table, who fits the scheme very, very well, you give him a year, and within a year, he could be the guy that could be the lead running back for this team. You know, he could really grow into a LaShawn McCoy. Speaking of LaShawn McCoy, he kind of talked about LaShawn McCoy and how he idolized him as a kid growing up. He really loves his game. He has a little bit of a competitive. He has that competitive edge to him. I don't know how to really put it into words, but like he really wants to be the best, and he's tired of living in Saquon Barkley's shadows and people comparing him to him. He wants to be his own man, and he is finally going to have that opportunity here in Philadelphia, and I can't wait to see what he does, because Miles Sanders has been a guy that I've been talking about all along since I started making videos on the draft, that the Eagles can get their hands on Miles Sanders. They will very much benefit from it, and we are excited for Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders is excited for us, and that is that's what makes it even more beautiful. I love Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders loves us. Booby Miles is going to be a beast here in Philly. Then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. This pick kind of threw people off because it wasn't like one of the names that, was really sticking out to us, but he was very much on the Eagles draft board. He was like their third best receiver in the draft. They had him beast on 50-50 balls. People hate having to guard this guy because he can make the tough catches. He can make any adjustment for the catch. And what he really can do that really frustrates defensive backs is he loves to take that contact. And when he does that, he will draw a pass interference almost every time, which is something that Alshon Jeffrey is very much, he does the same thing. So his game is a lot similar to Alshon Jeffrey, and him coming in, he also has speed. I mean, he's not just like a big receiver who's not that fast, who can work the intermediate stuff. The guy also has some speed to him. He has some agility. He has a lot of the stuff that you would love to have in a wide receiver. And you just bring him into this wide receiver room that's already a pretty damn good wide receiver room, and you just stacking up weapons like Deshaun Jackson said, we want to stack them up on the wall. You're stacking up wide receivers and targets and tight ends and running backs for Carson Wentz to just have at it, man, So that was a very good pick. I'm excited to see what he does here in the preseason and what carries on into the regular season for him. Fourth round, we go ahead and take Sharif Miller, defensive end from Penn State. The guy's he's pretty good. I mean, he's not great. He's not like one of these top pass rushers. He's not going to be a starter on this team. But you know what? Very good rotational guy. He can get to the quarterback. He had like 8.5, 9.5 round, close to 10 sacks, but not quite 10 sacks this past year at Penn State. I liked the pick because you're just not sure about Chris Long. I think it's more than likely Chris Long is going to retire. So getting a guy like Sharif Miller is really, really going to help out your defense. So Sharif Miller coming into the rotation, that is going to be good for this defense. It's going to keep guys like Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett and all those guys that are rushing along the edge. It's going to keep them pretty fresh. And you just got to think about Sharif Miller. Sharif Miller, who knows? He could develop into a lot better defensive end than he is right now. Good. We have a good defensive line. We got a lot of guys in this room. We got guys that are veterans. We got guys that have been there and done that. He reminds me a lot of Vinny Curry. I think these guys can coach him up a little bit, clean some things up with his game, and really get him to the player that he can really be in this league. So then in the 5th round, we took the quarterback from Northwestern. Clayton Thorson from Northwestern is being brought into the quarterback room now, which caught a lot of people by surprise, including myself. I did not expect us to draft a quarterback this season. That kind of threw me off. But when I think about it, there's 2 things that come to my mind. First thing is Nate Sudfeld. Nate Sudfeld is going to be an unrestricted free agent after this year. So, they bring in a guy that they think has some potential, then, okay. It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because if Sudfeld's gone, then what are you going to do? If he goes sign with another team, who knows? Nate Sudfeld has a good skill set to be an NFL quarterback, and he's been around Doug Peterson and some guys on his coaching staff who are really good at developing QBs. So he could be able to go somewhere and get an opportunity to play. And as we know, no quarterback is going to probably get an opportunity to play here with Carson Wentz taking the snaps under center. Second thing is, it's competition. You are pushing Nate Sudfeld to be better, to get better. And I can't be mad at that. But at the same time, there's probably other players that we could have snagged right there to add more talent to the roster. But you know what? I can live with one pick that I wasn't too thrilled about. I can live with it because overall we killed the draft. And then what was the next guy? We picked up a 7th. We traded back, and we picked up a 7th-round pick. And we ended up trading that pick to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for another defensive tackle. Forget his damn name already. I'll have to get used to his name. But I know some stuff about the guy. He is not a stat kind of guy. He's really not. He doesn't have a lot of sacks and stuff, but here's what he can do. He can eat up blocks, and that's what he brings to the table. So just think about a Bo Allen type of role. That is the type of role that this guy from the Indianapolis Colts is going to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that being said, guys, we killed this draft. One thing I will say is, it's easy to have a good draft, when you're dog trash. And I give credit to the Redskins; they had a good draft. But Washington Redskins are dog trash. It's easy for them to have a good draft. But with us, we're already a good team, and when you're already a good team, it's even harder to have a good draft. It really is, because you don't have all these high picks to work with. So in a vacuum, Philadelphia Eagles had a better draft. They had the best draft in the division. I will make another video giving these 4 NFC East teams a draft grade. But for right now, I'm going to give the Eagles an A- for this draft. I was very, very happy with it. Let me know what you guys think about the draft in the comment section below. As always, go Birds. And I'm getting ready to get ready for this Toronto Raptors game, Game 1 with the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. So go Sixers and go Birds. Awesome draft.
Damn, you should've never doubted me. The pain and the struggle followed me. My daddy never been that bothered me. And these cold streets made a man of me. Knew a time